Hello, today we're going to be looking at the IDERA SQL Defrag Manager 3.6 release, specifically the new features that are included. Most of the new features are available within the automation policies, except we do have this new instant defrag feature on the main screen, which will basically target the hotspots through a manual operation. I'll come back to that in just a moment, but let's go to the automation policies first. And we'll just walk through the screens. Most of the screens that we're going to look at through the creation of an automation policy are the same as what you've used in the past if you've used IDERA SQL Defrag Manager. What I'm going to target right away is, as far as the new features, this analysis type feature. On the first window of a policy, you can go in and be very selective of what it is that you're going to defrag. You just go down to certain databases, and maybe below the tables select specific tables and maybe even specific indexes as you see fit to do so within that policy. However, what's new is on this right hand side, as part of the analysis, you have the option to do fast or thorough analysis. And through the thorough features, you can do the sample for 2005 and later and the detailed analysis. And basically selecting these options will take into account either the logical extent fragmentation for fast analysis, or more thorough analysis will also take into account leaf pages and basically the analyzing through scan density. So we can check that option. Then we select next to go to the threshold screen. Now under the thresholds, you still have the same options to either select thresholds based on fragmentation results from the analysis or scan density. The filters will allow you to filter and target only the indexes that have a minimum page count, maximum page count. You can also really focus on the operation looking from these three different options of fragmentation, starting from the high fragmentation working down, scan density, looking at the lower scan density working up, or page count, looking at the largest objects and working with the defragging the highest page count or largest objects working down. Select the targeted indexes based on a percentage of qualified indexes. So basically it's biting off what it can chew on a policy night by night or scheduled basis, or target the top X number of qualified indexes. These are still the same features. I just figured I would go ahead and describe what this screen is since we're going through the filter or through the wizard options. Then we have the response option to reorg or rebuild. If you select rebuild, you have the online option as well, which some objects are not supported based on data types. And so down at the bottom, we have some options for how we would handle those indexes. You can choose to automate this process on a regular basis, which will take into account the scheduling, but also kicking off the defrag operation with that schedule after the analysis. Or you can add to-do items, which basically you would come in the next day, you would have a list of everything that was considered fragmented, and you can pick and choose what it is you want to defrag. There's also the ability to update statistics before analysis renewal or before optimization if you want to. Here's the scheduling interface, and this is also where we're going to find another new feature, and it is this enable repetition. And basically, on a scheduled basis, we will run the operation, but we can have it repeat every X number of minutes. So if you have something as an object, an index that's very fragmented on a regular basis, what you are able to do is have that operation repeat throughout the day every X number of minutes to make sure that it's always running optimally. There's also this enable rediscovery, just notable to mention at the bottom of the screen. And so if you're finding that tables and indexes are getting created on a regular basis and you want to make sure that they're rediscovered, they're discovered on a regular basis, that feature would help you. Resource check is something that's been in the product for some time. Essentially, this is allowing you to look at certain behaviors happening on the system, like CPU or jobs running or memory usage, and if something is happening that is out of the scope of what's considered ordinary for that time of the day, or even during maintenance windows or the middle of the night for that matter, you may want it to go ahead and postpone that operation until another time, and so we have that option through the resource check. The alert view will allow us to set up when we're going to get alerts, when policies start, when they complete, If a policy has a failure or any errors associated with the policy execution. There's also the ability to configure your email, and we do have an option now to set up SSL configuration through the email, which is right here as a new checkbox. That is a new feature as well. And that is it. So on the last screen, we give it a friendly name, and then the policy would run on a regularly scheduled basis. Those are the features, the new features that are available in the policy configuration. I'll go back to the main screen on the Fragmentation Explorer, and here is the instant defrag. And the idea behind this, as you can see, is to target the hot spots and reclaim resources on a manual basis. Now, I'm going to bring up the view here, and it's very similar to what we just walked through with the wizard. What's different is the schedule part is missing. So everything that I just walked through on the previous automation policy creation is still available here, but this is not going to be something that we schedule to run. It will run manually as we walk through all of the settings and kick it off to target the hotspots right here, right now, without creating a policy. But other than that, it is exactly the same. So that concludes all of the features that are available now in the SQL Defrag Manager 3.6 release. If you haven't downloaded the product in the past, I would encourage you to go out to www.idera.com. The product is available for download, and it will come with a trial license key already embedded in it, so you can install it and hit the ground running. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us again on www.idera.com, and we will assist you with addressing any of the questions that may come up from testing the product. Thank you for watching the video.